She wanna know me, I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up, we finna go deep. Riding on a team, got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I hit the town, you should slide on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all love. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Know it's all love. Know it's all love. I've been feeling like the man lately. Can't nobody do it like I can. Daily, baddest in the lattice in the land. Body turn your nigga to a fanny up, fanny up. I made it where I'm at on my own. Had a couple blocks in the road, but I get to the bag on the low. I be counting stacks while they grow, yeah, you know me. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I come in town, you should slide on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should slide.
Just one glass in, you're already on my mind. When it gets late, I always realize that I need you. Are you thinking about me tonight? It's no secret, all my friends already know. There's no reason to hold it back, I let it show. All my feelings, are you thinking about me tonight? Your hands around my waist, just let the music play. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. Sweeter than summer wine, baby, just hold me tight. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. And that makes me say, oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Goddamn, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Paradise. I'm taking a mental picture in my mind, just to keep this moment till the end of time. 'Cause I know that it might be over after tonight. So before I change my mind, your hands around my waist, just let the music play. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. Sweeter than summer wine, baby, just hold me tight. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. And that makes me say, oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Goddamn, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Paradise. Baby, sweet, give it to me.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Get Your Mind Right on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
I cannot complain. How are you doing?
I'm good. All right. Everyone, just waiting for, people to come in a little bit. Didn't have Dusto tonight, so that wasn't fun. As fun as last time. He's just hilarious, but I think he's in Florida, so probably getting hit a little bit by the hurricane. So
Oh no.
yeah, I don't know where. I think he's in, I don't know. I think he's in Miami, but I'm not sure. But all right.
And I was just in
So
Miami too. I just missed it.
yeah. Oh my,
Thank God.
I can't even imagine. Hey, Gray Pill. And I saw Daryl was in the chat earlier. If y'all are watching, hey. So you and I can chat a bit. You wanna get us started?
Sure. Well, we just jumping into it or
Well, we can do, I don't know, you wanna do an icebreaker?
sure. Okay, so for our icebreaker,
Mhm.
we're going to do 5 things that you probably have in your fridge or in your cabinets that you can swap for an healthier alternative or a healthier option. So the 5 things that I came up with today. One that which I don't have any in my actually yes I do because I went to Whole Foods the other day and they had pumpkin spice ice cream sandwich bars and I was like,
Ooh.
well, I have to buy that. So instead of the dairy based ice cream of any sort, they do like coconut milk ice cream, which
Mhm.
I absolutely love.
Mhm.
And then they do, I believe, just have plant-based or vegan ice cream. I
Mhm.
haven't tried any of that, but
There's a
I can
bunch
vouch for
now.
the coconut, the coconut ice. What is it? Coconut water, coconut milk ice cream. I don't know what it is. Delicious. Love
Probably
that.
oat milk too, I love oat milk.
Yes. Oat milk, almond milk. Well,
Right.
that's look, that brings us to the second one. Really
Alright.
dairy period. Outside of I have not been able to find like a good plant-based alternative to cheese that reminds me of cheese.
Very
So
creamy.
yeah, I can't tell you to substitute that. But as far as milk, whether it be whole milk, 2%, all of that is it came out of the cow's little wee wah. Like, and the thing
It
about that
can't.
is, here's my thing. Here's my thing. Hear
I
me
will think
out.
about it.
Who was the first person that looked at the cow and was like, I'm gonna squeeze the
I
titties
I
and see
just
what comes
can't.
out?
That's a good question. Um,
And then not only did they squeeze it, but they was like, we're gonna eat this, we're gonna drink this. Like,
mm, I don't
so yeah.
know. I kinda wanna look that up, though.
You know what? I feel like that's one of those things that will probably enter you into a wormhole of things that you probably wish you probably hadn't looked into.
Yeah, honestly, the dairy stuff, I'll be honest, sometimes I do wanna, like, keep my head in the sand,
Yeah,
but I know that I shouldn't,
I
but I
know.
can't help it.
It's so hard. And one of my friends, she is vegan and she posts like the stuff all the time, like with them cutting into bones and
Mm-mm.
pus and all this stuff coming
Oh,
out.
no. No, no, no.
And I'm like, girl, message received, okay?
We get it.
Like I do get it. I get it. But
Okay.
look, look.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
And it's nasty. It's nasty. So
Agreed.
yeah. It might be a little bit harder to break away from cheese, and I get that. But as opposed to 2% whole milk, whatever, reduced fat milk, you've got coconut milk, almond milk, cashew milk, hazelnut milk, like literally all the seeds eventually turn into milk.
I know,
And
that's
it's
so
really
crazy.
good. It's really good. Especially like in smoothies, you can add like they do
Mhm.
like the vanilla. But you do have to be careful with a lot of the brands because there should only be two ingredients. It should be, the nut and the water, whatever.
Right.
And they put all these preservatives and additives
Yeah.
and things in them too. So read the nutrition label. But
Yeah, we were talking about that one time. I've tried,
yeah,
some vegan protein powders, and wasn't a fan of that. Now, of course, if you are eating and getting enough protein from, the food that you're making, then that works, but, like, I like to drink a protein shake real quick because it was quick and it was 25 grams of protein, but I just could not do the vegan protein. I couldn't do it.
really, I like dang, I just had one out here. The Evolve brand.
I'll look into it.
Evolve, I like their protein shakes, but honestly, of course, my favorite that I'm gonna vouch for, uh, Venus Williams. Have you tried hers?
No.
She came out with a line of protein shakes called Happy Biking.
Oh,
And yes, like oh my gosh, the ingredients in them are beautiful. Um, it's everything listed on the label. You can read it. You may not have had it before, but you can pronounce it. and they're really good. She has like a pina colada one, a strawberry one, chocolate, vanilla. I
Ooh.
bought the whole tub.
Hey, real quick, your mic is like fuzzing up a little bit. It sounds kind of
I
fuzzy.
know. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on. I got this mic and it's new. And when I plug it in, I can't hear you. And then my headphones don't work either. So I don't know.
Um, try like maybe unplugging it or something. I'm not sure. I'm
I
not.
know. I know, right? Here, let me see. Look, intermission, real quick.
You're good. I'll keep track because we do have a question for you in the chat, but I'll hold on to it. Yeah, Jenny said just drop down and then see if you can fix it. So just
Okay.
yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk to everyone. So when she comes back, question for Big Al: do you use sea moss in your smoothies or food? Interesting. Not quite sure what that is. Great Pill says it's neutral in Florida as far as the hurricane, just a lot of heavy winds and storm. Yeah, I did hear about that. I heard it was like kind of isolated. It hit a specific town really hard, and then everything else. So crazy. I'm glad to know people are okay. Hey, what we know, Rob. How's it going? Everyone coming in. Thank you for being here. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to Black Man Unfiltered Network. So while we're waiting for Big Al, she's got some mic issues. Right now we're talking about 5 things that are in your fridge that you can swap out. And she is talking about dairy right now as far as and then using oat milk, almond milk, things like that. She says she hasn't found a good alternative. I've tried a while ago some vegan cheeses. They're okay, but gotta do what you gotta do. Some people just love cheese, though, I will say. Yeah, so five common things that are in your fridge and some healthier replacements for them. I'm gonna have to think of one. I really like this is pretty lame, but natural peanut butter, super good. Um, swap out russet potatoes for sweet potatoes, swap out regular milk for oat milk for sure, Jenny. That is right. I love sweet potatoes. They're a little sweet though, I will say, but they're great when you add some seasoning, something savory, and then there is a nice if you have a sweet tooth, something good also. But anyway, I like natural peanut butter a lot. Again, like Big Al said, just 2 things in there. Only 2 ingredients. Just be careful of check the label, what those preservatives are, and anything else. Should just be simple things in that ingredient. Something else that I could swap out. I don't know. Chat, tell me something in your fridge that you could swap out for a healthier alternative. One that I have already that's good is instead of sour cream, I use plain Greek yogurt by Chobani. It is dairy, but so sour, but it's perfect, exactly like sour cream. Let me see what else we got in our fridge that we could swap out. I think anything sweet, whether it's I'm thinking of Little Debbie's and things like that. You could definitely bake something. There's some really good protein cookie recipes and all kinds of things that you can make. Let's see. I'm really excited for tonight's topic, guys, while we wait for Big Al. So we're talking about jealousy and envy and how to deal with that when you're making changes and creating new habits, breaking old habits, Swap out milk, eggs, juice, mayo, and butter. For sure. For sure. Boss lady Iris, but I'm wondering about the eggs. I don't really eat eggs, but besides, like, if they're in things, but I don't know what you could swap out eggs for. Um, I don't know. I'm sure there's something. People are really creative out there, and there's so many things on the market in case. Um, okay. Thanks. Keto mini cheesecakes with almond flour and healthy sugar. For sure, Jenny. Love keto. Love keto options. Um, I think I've done something like that with almond flour. Or I made something, I can't remember. Um, what else we got? All right. Well, keep putting that in the chat. I love seeing people's ideas that, I haven't heard of or considered. So I'm gonna just jump right into the main topic tonight. So last show we talked about healthier habits, and whenever we're making ostrich eggs, there's someone that made a really big omelet on YouTube. You should look that up, DJ. It's crazy. But he made it with an ostrich egg. Ew. But anyway, so jealousy and envy. So whenever we're making a change, or even just in general, we deal with jealousy, whether that's with ourselves, like we're jealous of others, or people are jealous of us. And especially in our, tight knit groups, those closest to us when we're making changes, you can get a little hate. And I would characterize it as a little bit of jealousy or maybe envy. And we're going to talk about how to distinguish the two and how to notice it if you have it yourself. Um, and because it's going to happen. So, what do you guys in the chat, what do you think is the difference between jealousy and envy? When people are jealous, or maybe you're jealous, come on, it happens. I mean, I experience it too. What do you exhibit? Like, what are the behaviors? What do you experience? Jealousy. Let me know. So, I could see someone who is, let's say, cutting back on drinking, and they're always, going happy hour on Fridays with it, their coworkers. Um, and you're saying, "Sorry, I'm not gonna be joining you guys, for happy hour every Friday," and you may go every now and then, maybe not drink or whatever. You might get some hate a little bit. Like, "Come on, really?" It may it may seem a little passive aggressive, but, or even so let's say you're cutting back on a bad habit, or let's say that you pack your lunch to work, that you bring to work, and you bring really clean, healthy items. Some people might say things like, "Oh, look at her with her rabbit food," or whatever. Um, that's some things you might experience. So, this is how I like to explain the difference between envy and jealousy. Let's just get into it. So, jealousy is where you or someone else, they have something that you believe that you can't have. On the flip side, you have something that they believe that they can't have. In some way, you're winning and they're losing. That's jealousy. And one of my favorite quotes is, "Comparison is the thief of joy." So whenever we're comparing ourselves, whether we're, scrolling Instagram or we see someone, see our friend making changes, we have a different vibration. We're kind of like, little snide comments here and there. Somehow underneath, you might find that you believe that you can't do maybe what they're doing, or you can't look like what they look like. Now, at the same time, we don't want to look exactly like someone else, but let's say you want to drop some weight, or you want to, I don't know, have a different style. I don't know. But you believe that you can't have it. Okay, so that's jealousy. Now, envy is a little bit more hostile. Hey, Carol.
Hey, can you hear me better now?
Still a little fuzzy for sure.
Oh, that's so, I don't know what's going
Try
on.
try just your computer speaker or your computer mic.
Well, that's what I was using originally, because the microphone wouldn't connect.
Oh,
But I don't know. No.
you might have to
Okay.
change your settings.
Is this better?
It's still doing it a little
It's still
bit.
fuzzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'm actually okay. What about now?
Still kind of fuzzy.
It's still fuzzy.
I
Ugh,
wonder.
I guess this is as good as it's the micro. My iPad is not compatible with. Well, the Safari browser is not compatible with my microphone
Can
on
you
this
do Google
iPad.
Chrome?
I tried Chrome too, and it told me to go into Safari.
Um,
So I don't know. I don't want to be all fuzzy. I'm gonna have to figure something out.
I don't know why it's still is your mic
That's
still
not.
connected to it?
No, it's not connected at all. And I've got my AirPods plugged in.
Check your settings on StreamYard and make sure it's not still connected, because it still sounds kind of fuzzy, but I feel like it shouldn't if it's something different. If you're using a different
Yeah,
source.
especially it sounds the same with and without my AirPods.
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird. Let's see. Yeah, iPad. Okay, let me try this. Okay, is that better?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that is perfect.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Okay, while you were gone,
Sorry about that.
no, you're good. While you were gone, I just jumped into the topic, but I want to circle back around after about the substitutions. So basically what I was talking about was you have a pupper?
And she is growling at me. She wants to play. It's not playtime, Zula.
Oh
Okay.
my god, yeah. Oh, she wants attention.
She does.
Oh.
She's still a little baby. And she's
So,
so spoiled.
oh, you're good. You're good. Okay, so you probably didn't hear any of the past stuff, but what I was going over was the difference between jealousy and envy. What do you think it is?
I think jealousy is when someone looks at something that you have and they feel like you don't deserve that or you shouldn't have that. And I
Mm,
think envy is when I think envious can almost kind of be a form of admiration. I kind of feel like you're looking at somebody that's where you want to be and you're envious, like you know their goals, like you're trying to get to where they're at.
mhm.
I think there's a lot more malicious intent behind jealousy than there is envy or to be
Mhm.
envious. But I think that the two I think the two words get misconstrued often and kind of
Yeah.
put into the same category. But I
Yeah.
think they're two different things.
So, and I don't think there's a right or wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, world class, I see you in the chat. Um, T. Shaw says, I think jealousy is fear that someone will take what you have, and envy is coveting or wanting what someone else has. So I don't think there's like a set definition, but as a coach, what we say exactly how you described it, but flip flopped. So
Okay.
We say jealousy is basically they have something that you believe you can't have, like that you can't achieve it. They're winning, you're losing. And then envy, well, and what something you said about like admiration, I think you can channel jealousy into like admiration and like inspiration. Like, let me see what they're doing and and believe that it's possible. Like, even if you don't want to do it, like, wow, that's super cool that she's going after that. Um, Whereas envy is, well, this is how we describe it. It's the feeling that when someone has something that you don't, and you don't want them to have it either. So like you're
Mm,
mad, like and kind of like
mhm.
what you were saying, like it's malicious. Um,
Mhm.
so you don't want to go and get it. And I think envy is easier because instead of you maybe doing what it takes, working through your self-doubt, whatever it is, and maybe admiring that person, you don't want if you can't have it, then they can't either, and then you
Mhm.
don't have to do the work.
Right. Which you probably didn't want to do the work in the first place.
Right, right. And it just doesn't both of them don't feel good either. We
Mhm.
all do it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, since you're back with me, what has it been like for you? Like, where have you experienced someone being jealous or even envious?
I feel like it's old but true. History repeats itself. It's usually the people that are closest to you, that you
Mhm.
kind of get those vibes from, and especially if you're one of those people that's just really kind of intuitive, and you pick up on vibes. I did hear you when you were saying something about like rabbit food or and people making comments and stuff about that.
Yes.
So like I've been working from home now for about 2 years, but when I did go into the office,
Mhm.
you know, people, first, it's so many levels to this. It surprises me how unhealthy people eat daily, throughout the entire day, to the
Mhm.
point, where you're looking at a salad and joking, that this is rabbit food, or getting comments like, "Is that all you're eating? Like you don't have any meat with that? You don't have," and it's just like, regardless, the thing is people, besides the fact that this could just be something that I want to do, there are certain illnesses and things that people go through where that restricts their eating or restricts their diet,
Right.
altogether. So for somebody to project, and that's basically what I think it is, project onto you and try to make you feel, uncomfortable about something that
Right.
you're eating. It's kind of just weird in a sense, but yeah, like I guess, and it wasn't, I wouldn't bring like anything crazy. It would be like taco salad with ground turkey or salads
Mhm.
or whatever it may be, and I'm not drowning my salad in ranch dressing and
Right.
putting bacon and cheese on top of it. I've got cranberries and walnuts and balsamic vinaigrette, and they're like, "What is all of that? Like you just eat anything. You be ready to eat anything," and I'm like.
Actually, like, let's actually take a look at that. And Jenny says, "I love the statement, 'must be nice.'" Yeah, that is so, I wanted to say it's so, like, passive aggressive, like and it's
That
so
one, and it couldn't be me.
right, it's so defeating, like, people, like, don't realize how, like, disempowering that is for them to say that. And I've also experienced a lot of times in the workplace being younger compared to the older people, they love to say things. And they'll say, "Well, I've been trying to, lose weight or whatever." And they always like go for, you know, the quick fix, the magic
Hmm.
pill, whatever. And it just doesn't work that way. But then they come up with an excuse. And I said this to you too, when we were talking before the show, that what if, we said, that's all you're eat instead of saying, "Wow, you're eating that much? Wow." that looks like what would be an alternative to rabbit food, or like an
That's the
opposite.
whole calorie intake for the day now, isn't
Right,
it?
in one meal, like, that's all you're eating, right, Sharon? Like, my
You're not eating
goodness.
anything else today, right? That's it,
Right.
right?
Right, like, you must not move off the couch, like, ever. It's like,
Yeah.
why so instead of, like, bringing down what I'm doing and coming at me like that, because 'cause I'll tell you how I'm doing this or why I'm doing what I'm
Mhm.
doing. I would love to help you.
Mhm.
Why don't you just ask or just keep it to yourself? Like,
Keep it, yeah, like keep it to yourself. You don't, first of all, when I was growing up, you didn't talk about things, people's food that they were getting ready to eat or while they were
mhm,
eating it. Like that was just rude in general.
mhm,
Um, especially if it's not anything that you have to consume. But to go
right,
out your way to be passive aggressive or just rude,
mhm,
I just think it's a form of people projecting. And if you don't have the confidence
mhm,
um, and the determination, just to if you're not doing this because it's for you, something that you
mhm.
truly want to do, it's very very easy when you have those people around you to fall off track, especially in the workplace where they're having pizza parties and bringing in donuts and
That's the
all this. Yeah.
reward, always. Always the reward.
Never any money, but here's the
No.
donut.
Or like an
Here's the
outing or
donut.
something, like,
No,
let's
no,
all
no.
go
Here's a
play or
pizza.
something.
Another, you get a pizza. You get a pizza. And especially a lot of, I feel like when it comes to office jobs, you're sitting down for 8 to 9, sometimes 10 hours a day, because let's be realistic. 40-hour work week is becoming a thing of the past, but
Mhm,
you're sitting down all day. You're probably not taking the stairs. You're probably not drinking any water, revved up
mhm,
on caffeine and those
mhm.
coffee drinks. Let's not even get started on them. So
I
it's
know, I'm
like,
so guilty of that.
but it's a plethora of unhealthiness with no balance. And I know that you feel terrible. I know that regardless of what you look on the inside, you
Mhm,
keep crashing. And so you're trying to alleviate the crash by ingesting more caffeine, or you're just eating because you're bored or whatever it may be. And you can eat because you're bored, but let's have some fruit and some vegetables around us, as
mhm.
opposed to getting up and going to the vending machine. But again, as we talked about in the first episode, a lot of people are not only comfortable with being lazy, but they're addicted to their old habits, and they're addicted to these things that they eat.
Mhm,
And I had a supervisor one time when I was working at KFC. This when I was like 16,
mhm.
and she was overweight, and she used to go in the kitchen and just like, Nazula, you are not the star of the show. Okay? Okay, calm down.
Oh my goodness.
But she would be one of those people that would just like go in the kitchen and start mixing stuff together and frying whatever she could put into the deep fryer. And at 16, I'm looking at her like, sis, is everything okay? And she literally was like, we all gotta die someday. I might as well die with the chicken wing in my hand. And I was like,
That's but why though? Like,
because and that when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, okay, it's a deeper issue, and it has nothing to do with what I'm eating and how I'm eating and my lifestyle. That is no nobody just talks like that. That's in a good place, in a good space.
mm-mm.
Um, and so that's why you have to be very careful not to let those people project onto you, because 9 times out of 10, if they could do what you're doing, they would. Besides the
Mhm,
fact that, you're being healthy, you probably feel better, you can move better, you look better, your bowels
mhm.
are moving. That's definitely something that'll get you upset, not being
Oh,
able to
for
go to the
sure.
bathroom.
Y
Um,
Yeah, for sure. Check the back chat. Jenny said, "Try to leave StreamYard because it's fuzzy again. Try to leave StreamYard and reset the browser and come back in."
okay, let me see. Yeah, because it's still on my AirPods. Okay, let me try.
I know, I don't know what is going on.
I
Like,
don't know.
nothing
It's
changed,
hating. It's hating on me today. Okay, I'll
I
be right
know.
back.
No, you're good. I saw T. Shaw said, "I think both jealousy and envy can be unhealthy." For sure, because when you have the jealousy and the envy towards someone else, excuse me, um, you're feeling that and it's not getting you anywhere, basically. You're having ill thoughts, negative thoughts about someone else, all disguising underneath the thoughts that you have about yourself, which are, the doubt that and the fear that you can't get to wherever it is that you want to get to. Um, and also with envy, when you don't have something and someone else does, so you don't want them to have it either, what good does that do you also? Like, what does them having something that you don't have help you get any closer or whatever? Like, if you ultimately want to, you know, lose 10 pounds or so you don't want them to, or someone's further in their business than you, so then you'll feel better because then you're both like, at the bottom. I don't understand that. Um, so channeling some of the jealousy and noticing it in yourself, um, to inspiration and what's possible for you is going to be a much more productive way to go. And how do you do that when you're feeling jealous of someone else? Um, when I think of being jealous, my face just automatically must go, I don't want you to have that either. You know, and let's see, like you're watching someone else's channel and they have so many viewers, or you see someone on your Facebook feed and they got married and you didn't. Um, you can, instead of being jealous and thinking that it's not possible for you, what can you do instead? Okay, if this is something I want, what are the things that I need to do that will get me closer to that? What are the things that I'm doing right now that aren't working? Or you could even ask someone, whether it's that person or someone that may have the answers. Hey, what can I do to fix, or to improve so that I can get closer to whatever that end goal is? Um, I mean, it's all just how you are thinking about it at the end of the day. Just because someone has something doesn't mean that in the having of it, they're taking away from you. We can all win at this point. Um, now, there's how many people on YouTube, how many people can lose weight? Like we can all, you know, achieve whatever it is that we want to achieve. It's just feeling jealous and envious of someone else is not going to get you any closer to that goal. Um, Chat, let me know what you think. What have you experienced when it comes to jealousy and envy? Whether it's you experiencing it, let's be honest, or no one is born jealous, so that is a me thing. Um, Isaiah, no one is born jealous, so that is a me thing. Well, it's not just a you thing. A lot of people do it, but yes, you were not born jealous. There's no jealousy gene. But I would ask you, Isaiah, or ask yourself, why am I jealous? What am I thinking about this person as it relates to me? Why do I think that I can't achieve whatever it is? And how am I holding myself back in that regard? Tisha says, Coach K, do you believe jealousy and envy is more prevalent in those who are insecure rather than those who are confident? For sure. I think when you're feeling insecure, you're definitely going to look for all the things that you don't have, like evidence for those things. So if you're already believing that you can't do something or that you don't have something, whether it's you don't like the way you look, or you don't have a talent, you're going to prove yourself right by feeding your brain plenty of evidence. Now, if you're confident, I think you're less likely to be jealous and envious. You might, admire other people for what they have, or maybe be inspired. Um, you know, you know that you have worked hard for what you're doing or what you have, or the journey that you're on, and what they have isn't taking anything away from you. Um, Isaiah says can't. Is that a word? I'm not sure what you mean, but you let me know. Jenny says, I would channel that jealousy into healthy competition. If I feel putting on weight, I can use the fitness models as motivation or straight up competition. I was a sprinter. Yes, that is yes, for sure. And half the time, like these people, they also had to fight through things too. Insecurities, or sometimes like you can see their before and afters. Like they worked for that. And just because they have it and why would you want to take that away from them when behind the scenes you don't see all the hard work and practice and discipline that they put in to get where they're at. um so yeah, I think really the competition that you should have is with yourself. I think Jordan Peterson says that, the only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. You know? Hey, Daryl. Thanks. Thanks for being in the chat and your support. Awesome to see you. And yeah, having a family is so important. I'm always going to speak on things that I'm passionate about. DJ. Small number of neuroimaging and neuropathology studies in human have demonstrated that pathological jealousy is particularly associated with altered frontal striatal circuitry, the ventral medial. I would imagine that if you are jealous and you're thinking jealous thoughts, you're going to create neural pathways that are going to become faster. Everyone look up neuroplasticity. Amazing. But we can basically rewire our brains. So something that used to be easy, or that was hard, and the more that you do it, eventually it's going to become easier. You're going to get better and more efficient at thinking those thoughts or in those messages. Same thing with jealousy. If you have a lot of those thoughts, that are producing that jealousy in you, your brain is going to, you know, have those pathways, if that makes sense. Jenny says that she competed with her 13-year-old this summer. He blew her away in terms of strength. This is her competition, keeping up with him for sure. Man, whenever I play with my niece, and even in just like board games, I go hard. Like I'm not messing around. Um, know that everyone can win. There's no need. Know that everyone can win. There's no need to be jealous for sure, because again, that's only holding you back from the work that you're doing today. It's not going to, fuel you to go and take action in whatever your goals are. And again, whatever they're doing or whatever their goals are, they're not the same as yours. So whatever it looks like for winning for you is going to be different for them. Spend less time thinking about everyone else's business and stay in yours, okay? Hey, Big Al, welcome back.
Hey, I hope this is better.
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay.
Should I do a little signal if it does it again?
Yeah, just let me know. I switched to my phone, so
Okay.
I should be good now. I don't know if it was StreamYard or my Wi-Fi or what was going on, but
I don't know. We'll have
we
to see.
got
Maybe.
options. So
Yeah. Sometimes there's always like workarounds. But anyway, I was talking. Me and the chat were talking. And talking about competition, healthy competition. I also think too that being around I think there can be healthy competition in the sense that when we talked a little bit last time about surrounding yourself with people that are also doing things, practicing some healthy habits like you do, not only does it help you kind of step into that identity that I'm a person who eats like this, because I have people around me that also eat like this, for example. But I lost my train of thought.
to piggyback off
Competition.
what I was gonna say, yeah, to piggyback off of that in the same
Yeah,
instance
go
where
on.
I've
Yeah.
had people around me that are like, "Oh my gosh, is that all you're eating?" Da, da, da. I've also had people like, "Oh my gosh, what is that you're eating? Like, I
Right.
need to get like you." And I even had one coworker one time. She actually started paying me to meal prep for her. This was before I had started cooking professionally and everything. And I just used to bring in my lunch every day, and she'd be like, I don't know what that is, but it smells great, and I'm trying to get right. Like, I don't feel like doing it myself. So, and she would pay me to meal prep for her. Everything. She didn't even care what it was. Like, just
And isn't
whatever
that
you make for
such a,
yourself.
like, good energy when someone else is like,
Yeah,
"Hey," they're either, complimenting or, like, noticing what you're doing, and they're intrigued and interested, and they also wanna learn more, but they're not, like, kind of, like, tearing you down. It's like, "Yeah, we
yeah,
both can get this, like, let's go." And, that I even felt like that when you and I first talked, like, I thought it was amazing that you have your own business and that you're on social media like crazy, which is great. That's one of my, like, I need to be better. But, so it's like, why would I be
yeah.
jealous that she's on, when I just need to be working on my stuff? What do I need to be doing? Maybe I can learn a tip or two, whatever, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I had to look at it as also, because when I started, I felt, am I echoing?
I don't think so.
Okay. When I started my business, that was one of the things that I noticed. Like, everybody is on social media now. And before you even see a website or honestly even know what somebody is selling, you see their social media profile. And I was not someone who liked to hear herself speak. I don't, even now, I don't like to be in front of the camera. Um, but I was like, if this is something that I'm going to invest my time in doing, then I need to do it to the best of my ability. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I've got to get into this social media. And so, when I first got into it, I'm like, I'm not going to follow anybody that's doing the same thing I'm doing because I don't want to pull from, I don't want to kind of interfere with my own thoughts.
Your own creativity, like, so almost like
Yeah.
subconsciously, like
Yeah, but also, part of me was like, all of these people that I'm following that have made it to my profile or my explore page, these are people that have thousands and thousands of followers,
mhm,
and they're getting paid for all of the content
right.
they're creating. They're doing collabs and things and such of that nature. But after doing additional research, I'm like, these people have been on social media for 5, 6, 7 years.
Right.
Um, some of them may have been on there less time, but they've put in the work, they've made the connections. And I'm like, okay, me trying to disconnect myself from, like minds and people doing the same things that I'm doing, that's not beneficial to me in the long run. I need to be watching them and reaching out to them and trying to see how we can connect.
100%.
Yeah, we can all win. It's
There's
literally
enough of
enough.
us. There's
It's
enough to
enough.
go around, especially because there's
Yeah.
something that you provide that maybe other consumers don't want from that person, want from you, and I think that's so crucial when it comes to being jealous,
Yeah.
and, because 'cause you're, like, almost like there's a haze of, thinking about where you aren't, where you what you don't have, but also even with your business or even your progress in, let's say, the gym or eating. Let's say, now you're meal prepping every week. At one point, you weren't meal prepping at all. Like, that's amazing. Like, can we just stop instead of, comparing yourself to someone who is like way further, whatever, good
Mhm.
for them. But, let's come back to us. Look at where you're at now. My fiance has to remind me of that all the time because I'm like,
Mhm.
you know, tearing myself down or
Yeah.
whatever. I have a human brain. I'm still a coach, but I still got a brain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Um, let's see. I saw Boss Lady Iris says that she started her YouTube, became a nutritional coach, and doesn't get support from her family about her accomplishments. Hey, that's okay. I mean, you we can like note that, but also where are you getting, the support and the kudos or whatever? And are you giving that to you? Are you feeling, the, I guess, accomplishment and the achievement for what you've created, you know?
Mhm.
Not everyone's gonna provide that for you. But who knows?
Yeah, family, I feel like they can be the people that know you. For some reason, a lot of the times it seems like they're the hardest people to win over. That's one thing that I'm really grateful for. I've never seen my mom brag on me so much in my life. Like, she's so happy about me and my business, but You know, I have cousins, I have relatives who are on social media all day and I can't get them to like a post. And I'm like, hello. And then, you
Right.
know, it's family dinner time. They're like, oh, what you bringing? Nothing, including
Right.
myself. I'm not coming. Like, what?
Right.
Like,
You're right. Right.
but in the same breath, you know, it hurts because those are people that you would expect to be there. But you
Mhm.
can't focus on them so much to the point that
Mhm.
you miss out on all the people that are supporting you.
Yeah.
The strangers, you know, they show all the love and eventually they become family and friends. And I've made so many connections through social media. And I talk
Mhm.
to you guys more than I even talk to some of my
I
relatives. And
know.
that's amazing. Like I can literally fly out to different states and hit people up like, hey, I'm in town. What's up?
I
So
know.
that's so rewarding because you can't do anything alone, regardless of, you know, what the world tries to make you think or what you might even tell yourself.
For sure.
Everybody needs somebody. You gotta gang gang.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something too that I think people won't ask others because they're jealous, like, or they're envious.
Yeah.
And it's like they're judging themselves and they like kind of want to hide, you know? And I think
Or
so
they feel like they have something to prove and they can't prove it if they
yeah.
don't do it all on their
Yeah.
own. And I
And
gotta stay away from them people in all honesty because they not good.
yeah, yeah, it's like
You gotta work on that first.
right, and it's like relax, but I think like a lot of this is interesting because this is something that I wanted to really yeah, I guess no whatever. Also, link is in the chat if anyone wants to join our discussion, but that what if you're on the other side where you're feeling jealous, it at least can give you a little bit of understanding of where you're feeling jealous and maybe why.
Hmm.
It may be like, you know, if someone's jealous of you, we can have a little bit of understanding. Doesn't mean you want to be their best friend when they're jealous of you,
Right.
but you don't take it so personally when they don't maybe congratulate you or they don't or they say
Yeah.
little remarks like, "Hey, that kind of that kind of sucks that they're like
Yeah.
battling, you know, going after their goal and they think it's better to just tear me down versus to maybe ask me how I can help." You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like in the past, I've always been super, super emotional and I did not have the best experiences in elementary school. And
Mhm.
so it's kind of just made me really, really, it used to make me really defensive when it came to certain people. One strike and you're out. Like you moving funny, you're out. You're gone. I can't be around you. You disturbing my peace. But now I'm more so, I understand that, you know, these are personal things and they don't have anything to do with you. And a lot of the times, you know, people don't ask for help and they don't reach out, whether they be embarrassed or they think no one cares or, you know, whatever it may be. So I don't let necessarily people know that the door is always open, but I don't necessarily take it there. You know, like you said, all right, that's what you got going on. I'm gonna keep doing me. Um, because people, the projecting can be really, really, really intense depending on who it is. To the
Mhm.
point you know you how you have those people. Like I've been in debates, and at the end of it, I'm like, okay, no, I understand what you're saying, and I know that you understand what I'm saying, but I still don't agree with what you're saying. And they're just
Right.
like, well, why not? Because I'm not you.
Right, cuz I just
Um,
don't.
yeah. So instead of, you know, cutting those people off, I understand now that more than likely they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. You know, should you choose to heal, should you want to talk and be real and honest or whatever, you know, hopefully I'll be around. It's always love. I never wish to see anybody on their knees,
For
but you
sure.
can't come over here with all that projecting and disturbing my peace. You know,
Yeah,
we got to
and
work on ourselves.
yeah, that does happen a lot, where people just take whatever's going on with them and they just, you know, blast it all over you.
And they
But
think you can take it because you seem to be the strong friend, or, you know, or something or you always have an answer for everything. But you have to draw those lines sometimes and let people know, you know, I am here for you, I am your friend, but you need to go back to the drawing board, you know, maybe do a little brainstorming and figure out, why do you feel this way, you know, what is making you feel that way. Because so I think somebody put it in the chat too. like you said, that feeling of jealousy or envy, I think that it's a deeper, internal thing. What are you unhappy about? Because
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what they're doing, you should still be happy with the things that you're doing if you're doing what you want to do.
Right.
You never wanted to do that, or you weren't doing that. So why is them doing
Right.
it so
And
upsetting to you?
sometimes people are jealous.
Emotional vomit.
I know, that's so true. That is gosh, I'm guilty of that sometimes. But sometimes, like, people will be jealous of someone else, and then either A, they don't actually want it. Because 'cause I'm like, if I were to ask you, "Oh, you're jealous that they have that? Do you actually want that?" And they're like, "No." Like, do I I'm trying to think of one. Like, do I wanna have this type of car? Why would I be jealous when I actually don't want that? Like, I want a different type of car. So, and then B, well, let's look at all the work that they had to put in. Do you wanna do that? Okay, well, if you don't, then why are you jealous? You know what I mean? Like, just drop it. You don't want this at all,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. One thing I can say, very, very true, which social media does a very good job of putting the rose tinted glasses over, is the relationships that you see on social media.
It's my
People
specialty.
literally, go their whole stories, all their posts are other people and their relationships and their goals and hashtag one day me and somebody's son. And all you see is a picture. And a picture at one point in time, even still, it can't tell 1,000 words, but it can also tell 1,000 lies. You don't know what those people are going through. You have no clue what they've been through, and you don't even know if they're still together. This picture could
Right.
have been circulating for the last 5 years.
That
Um,
that brought up such a good, like, side topic is relationships. Ladies, well, and men can be jealous too, but mostly ladies, and everyone,
mhm.
link is in the chat if you wanna join, come on up. Um, but there's so like, jealousy in relationships w let me hear your thoughts first. What do you think about jealousy in
I
relationships?
think that
If
is
you
I feel like when it comes to, I can only speak from a female's perspective, but when
For
it
sure.
comes to the ladies,
Mhm.
from day one, we're sold this dream, this unrealistic dream of what a relationship is supposed to be. I'm
Mhm.
talking about starting all the way back from Disney.
Mhm.
And we think that this Prince Charming is supposed to come out of nowhere and sweep us off our feet and pay all of our bills, and we'll never have to break a nail or anything of that sort.
Right.
And you off rip, you're messing yourself up, from potentially finding somebody that is truly for you, who
Mhm.
cares about you, who wants to build with you and grow with you, because your judgment is clouded by things that you've never experienced on your own, just things that you have been told, things that you have seen.
Right.
And it's crazy because even, like acquaintances or, people that I know in real life, they post these pictures and these videos on social media, and then in real life, they're arguing with each other, they're calling each other out each other's names, they're putting hands on each other, they break up every other day, and it's like, or why are you in this relationship? Why are why are you here? And I think that a lot of the times, some people stay in those type of relationships because, again, they're worried about how they're going to be perceived by other people. They don't want to be the woman that's single, that left her man, or this, that, and the third. And I think it's so hard for a lot of people to make genuine connections and have genuine relationships nowadays because everything is so clouded. A lot of things are so clouded.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Mandrell, what's up? Um, that's so true, and it's like, while you're worried about, like, what other people might think, you're not working on your relationship or, like, maybe making the decision to leave, and it's a great reminder for people that may view that said relationship and are jealous of it, because again, they don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Same thing
No
with people
clue.
in maybe, they're jealous the way they look. Well, you don't know the work that they're putting in, you know?
Yeah.
Something I think girls are crazy when it comes to being jealous. I used to be like that, but I work on it a lot. Um, where like the social media, like liking someone's picture or
Oh yeah.
following girls. Okay, listen to me, everyone. When your guy likes a picture or follows another female, what are you making that mean? Because that could mean so many different things. But if you want to make it mean something, you know,
Deeper.
nefarious
You need to
or
look at why you think that it's
why and
so
how do you
intense.
know? Do you know? And I shared this last or one show. I used to get so pissed that my fiance would like, pictures of like fitness people that I had also followed, so I would see that he liked it. But then I'll watch him on his Instagram and he'll just scroll and like not even really be like looking at the picture. So and then when we're jealous, we create problems where there aren't problems. Stop it.
So
Stop it.
many times, like I know, especially, I can speak for myself and a few of my friends, blown something so far out of proportion, when it could have been, stopped at the root. And
Mhm.
it's really as simple as asking a clarifying question. But do we
Right.
do that? No. We call our friends, we make up scenarios in our heads, we start answering questions on our own. And then once shit hits the fan, now we're in our partner's face and they looking at us like, bitch, are you crazy?
And then
And
we
I'm
wonder
like,
why he doesn't want to tell us stuff?
exactly. So my rule of thumb, now is if it bothers me enough, I'm gonna ask about it. And if I feel like I can't ask about something or approach about something, that's another issue. Because why are we together if we can't communicate?
Right. And I think sometimes people don't want to ask because they know that they're being ridiculous. Like,
Or
that's
that too.
probably a
Yeah.
key indicator that you're being crazy.
Yeah. And you sometimes you have to check yourself. And we have those toxic friends around us that are still in their healing process and still in their journeys, and they just geek it up and make it 10 times worse. And they like, yeah, girl, don't stand for that. Da, da, da. And you gotta cut
The envy
all of
almost.
that
They
off.
don't want you to have what they don't also
Been
a little bit.
waiting. Been
I
waiting.
think I think T-Shaw just brought up such a good point, that some women believe in making their man jealous, and the result is usually the opposite. And that kind of reminds me of your earlier comment, which was about insecurity. If you are secure in your relationship in the sense that you believe that, your guy loves you and wants to be with you, why would you need to make him jealous? Because I think that when women do that, they want to see some type of affection to, I guess, reaffirm that, "Oh, he does wanna be with me. He does like me."
Hmm.
And then but that does the opposite usually,
Hmm.
because it just doesn't
Yeah.
look
I
good.
mean, and realistically speaking, if someone did that to you, what would your reaction be? Oh, let me prove to them how loyal and how much I love them. No, you're gonna be pissed. Like, why would you accuse me of that? Why would you come at me like that?
It's just games. "Hey, Nurse
Yeah,
Nancy."
yeah, definitely.
And I would love to hear what guys in the chat think about, jealousy when it comes to relationships. Um, but yeah, I just feel like that's so childish. Like, why? Because remember, we were talking about how I was reading Nurse Fancy. We were talking about how jealousy is like you believing them having something that you believe that you can't have. So why are you making your man believe that he can't have you by like, I don't know, flirting with a guy or something, another guy, like to make him like,
It's so toxic. It's so toxic. And you
what?
don't realize, like, yeah, you guys can, make amends and forgive each other and move on or whatever. But that scar is still going to be there. It's not going to be what the relationship was before. You've tainted the relationship for no reason. You've acted a fool for no reason. And sometimes you can't recoup for that. And people, they get upset, and then, months or years down the line, you're having another disagreement, and you bring up something something old, and they're like, here you go bringing that up again, because I'm showing you this is something you're continuing to do over and over again. Like I'm not gonna stand for this. Like I can't. What is going on? What's going on? But I
I
also
know.
think I'm very firm on two people can make it work if they want to. It's really not much else that goes into it. If you want it to work, it can work. So when you're genuine and just have the right intentions and are done playing games and just direct, you'll be fine. But if you're going into this for the aesthetic, for what you can get out of it, for whatever it may be, then I mean, you're going to get a shit show because that's what you signed up for.
For sure. It's just, it's all like so crazy. And I think like these topics are so important because people might hear something that they identify with and they may not until maybe today realize
Yeah.
why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Miss Nurse Fancy, right there. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Because as soon as he start to acting crazy on you, you like, oh my God, my heart, I can't breathe.
oh my gosh.
And it's like, girl, like you was in his face messaging somebody. And exactly, that's how they be. That's how they be looking like,
Right.
now you did all of that. So now I'm doing what you told me. You told me to leave you alone. I left you alone. And now you can't breathe.
Right. Like why are we playing these mind games? Like it doesn't make any sense. And it's also like you want your man to read your mind, but then he doesn't do what you want. And then you're mad about it. Like
Yeah,
just
that's not
just
cool either.
communicate. Like who cares if you want something, tell that person.
Yeah.
And if they can, they will provide it for you or they'll do it.
Because again, these girls, a lot of these women are caught up in these Disney fairy tale fantasies.
Right.
They're waiting for Prince Charming to bring them a glass slipper and open their car door and drive them in the pumpkin to the ball. And it's like that's not how things work. Like, and I think too, a lot of the times men kind of, like I saw a post today, a meme today, talking about I don't know any man that drinks coffee. They just get up and get the day started. Like they just get up and be like, all right, let's get this money. Women, we be like, don't talk to me until I
Right.
get my caffeine. I feel like men, it's women are like, okay, this is where we're starting and this is where we're ending.
Mhm.
And to get there, we got to go up, down, all around, in
Mhm.
between. And then
Mhm.
men are just like, but why we can't just walk in a straight line? So
Yeah, and we want to complain along the way.
a lot of the things I think that we put emphasis on and care about and dwell about, men don't necessarily, care about that. They like to get to the meat and the potatoes, get to the meat
Right.
and potatoes of it. And you can't get mad at them for that because I feel like a lot of the times, especially for me, I am so emotional. I probably
Mhm.
think about things that you've never thought about before, things that never had crossed your mind. It's unrealistic for me to think I'm gonna find a partner that's gonna, just match me on that. Like
You wouldn't want to, that would be so
I
messy. Can
would
you
not know.
imagine?
Oh gosh, that would be so bad. That would be so bad.
Right, and that's why it's like, complimenting one another, and it's like and if you're with someone and this is maybe the way that they are or the way that, their attributes, do you want them to be who they are, or do you want them to change so that
Exactly.
you can be happy, but that's not truly them being authentic? Like, why would you want
Exactly.
that?
Exactly. And
Th
anytime you try to get somebody to do something out of their own will, that usually backfires. That
like, if they
usually
don't want
backfires.
to.
Yeah, and then 10 years down the line, well, you told me to do this, and you'd make me a wife and a mother, and da 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 da, and I
Mhm.
don't have any of those, ma'am.
Like, let's be honest, let's be real with ourselves.
Yeah,
The signs were there, like, the whole time.
the
This
signs
is
are
so true.
always there. You chose to pass go. Um, you chose to not have the awkward conversations, and now here you are, and you're dating a stranger, and you don't even know this person that you're dating. You're dating the person that you've molded them into being,
Mhm.
and now they're showing you who they really are, and you're like, whoa there, who is this? the person that I've been trying to be. Like, this is who I am. And I don't think you like me. And that's okay. But we probably
Right.
shouldn't be together, you know?
Right.
Um,
It's so
it's
crazy.
levels to it.
And again, it's like people focusing on other people so that they don't have to look themselves in the
At
mirror
themselves.
and do a little
Exactly.
introspection and be uncomfortable maybe with the changes that they need to make. And that's totally fine. It's gonna be uncomfortable. But you're not only are you burning bridges and creating, just no one wants to be around you if you're acting like that or whatever. Your relationships are gonna fall apart. That's gonna feel like crap. And then you're also not
Mm-hmm.
making the changes that you need to make and still not
Yeah.
getting the outcomes. Like,
It's not healthy. It's not happy. It's not peaceful. And life is hard enough to be adding on unnecessary crap. It really is. In relationships, I feel like, oh my gosh, like the media will try to tell you that relationships are so difficult, but they're not. They're really not. They're
no,
not if you are being serious, and you have the right intentions and you're being honest and you could communicate. I don't care, if you want to date somebody who wants to have 5 wives. Okay, if that works for you, cool. But don't go dating the guy who told you he want 5 wives thinking you about to be his one wife. He
and then
told you
you're
he wanted
mad.
5 wives from the beginning, ma'am.
Right, like, so you thought you could change him? Why would you do that? Do you want him to do that to you? Like, this literally
Right.
blows my mind.
it
It's so
doesn't it doesn't
simple.
make any sense. A lot of the times, I don't know if it's that the mama mentality with women, but they kind of think that they can control, they can take over. If I cook him and I sex him good and I don't yell at him, he can do it. No,
I'm
it's a
guilty
lot of
of
people
that.
that can cook. It's a lot of people that can have sex. Like, that's not going to keep him here.
Right, right. Um, so Jenny asks, and by the way, we only have about 17, 18 minutes left. So if you want to join our show and join the conversation, click the link. Jenny says, what mental or physical work can you do to snap you out of an envious spiral?
Mm.
I would say when you notice or think back to a time when you're feeling envious or jealous or whatever, um, notice how you were feeling internally. Guys, you too, you have emotions, whether you believe it or not. Um, as humans, we all have emotions, but that's what we needed to survive. We still need them. But anyway, when you're feeling that jealousy or you notice that you're like talking a little, I'm just going to say crazy again, a little spicy to your friends, notice, whoa, am I being jealous? And then you need to think about what you were thinking about that person and why. Why were you feeling in that moment what you were feeling? What were you thinking about them? And most importantly, what were you thinking about you?
I love that.
That's what I would say. First thing is, what are you thinking about them? And whatever, if it's weight, success, money, I don't care. What are you thinking about them and what
Hmm.
they're doing? And what are you making it mean about you? What do you think, Big Al? What would you say?
I love that a lot because at one point I was the say what everybody thinks friend. I could not bite my tongue for anything, and I
Do
thought it
they?
was so funny. Like, I'm thinking I'm a comedian, and because people will be laughing, except for the people who I was necessarily directing my bluntness towards. They like,
Mhm.
okay, like, you don't have to do all of that,
Right,
and
right.
initially, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm so honest, I'm so real, I don't sugarcoat anything.
Right.
And then I started realizing, like, I was hurting people's feelings. And, some things just don't need to be said,
Right.
especially when they're unsolicited. So I kind of had to check myself at one point, um, because I could see it wasn't even necessarily a conversation that was had, but you know how some people just talk with their facial expressions? And
Mhm.
I had said something, I don't even remember what it was I said, but I remember the look that I got, that on this girl's face, and she just kind of looked like so embarrassed, like she just saw a ghost. And I was like,
Mhm.
whoa, I know that feeling. I remember that feeling. And I think the bluntness kind of came out of the childhood me that didn't speak up. But now, like, girl, you're talking too much. You gotta find
You, like, swung,
the
like, the other way.
yeah, find somewhere in the middle. And I did kind of identify also with me projecting a little bit, whether it be, referring to someone's outfit like, dang, why she got that on? She got her whole body all out, ain't leave nothing for it for a surprise. It's like, okay, that's her body. She wanna rock that. Like, what does it matter to you? You don't gotta buy it. You don't gotta
Mhm.
wear it. Why you talking
Mhm.
about her? Like, move on. So
Yeah, it's like,
that's
you have to be heard.
yeah, you have to be heard. You have to be seen. You have to give your
Mhm.
opinion. You have to be the loudest.
Mhm.
I had to, I it's definitely work. It's not anything that changed overnight, but I definitely
Mhm.
have learned to kind of just sit back and be quiet a little bit more. Wait until an opinion is asked necessarily before giving them. And, there's a fine line between being honest and being mean.
For sure. And everyone, be honest with yourselves. We all
You
know what
know,
that is for us, like,
you know.
and then don't say that that person is being sensitive. Now, sure, like, they may
Oh,
have,
that's a trigger. I hate that.
well, when people are or when they say they're sensitive.
Yeah, no, when people are like, you're just sensitive. Like, you're just so sensitive.
No,
So
you're
that's
just
why you feel that way. Like,
yeah,
no, that's so rude. Like, passive aggressive at its
for
finest.
sure.
I hate that. I will
Yeah.
go off on anybody that says that.
I know, well, and I pretty much I'm pretty good with, like, what I'm thinking and feeling at the moment, so it might take me a second, but I'll be like, "I'm not being sensitive, I just have a problem with what you said, now sure, I need to own my thoughts about it, but I'm okay with not liking what you said." Something I was also thinking too about,
Yeah.
um, to physically work on to snap yourself out of, like, an envious spiral or any type of thought spiral, emotional spiral is deep breathing. That will slow the thoughts down and kind of detach the thoughts so that you can, you know, get it honestly just stops the spiral altogether, but also see what's going on in your mind and overcome some of those wacky thoughts. But
Yeah.
deep breathing, take a second, focus on your breathing and like counting because then your mind is focusing on the counting versus the thoughts. Nurse Fancy says, I think if you have any jealousy, it only means you have work to do. Step back and work out on yourself. Come back better for sure. I mean, and sometimes, again, just be honest with yourself if you're feeling jealous. Like,
Yeah.
where are you lacking
Mhm.
emotionally and with your belief system or whatever it is? You're in a place of scarcity. Why? Something to look
Mhm.
at, be curious about. Don't beat yourself up, though, that does not help anyone, but just be
Yeah.
curious, you
Be
know?
honest. Be honest with yourself because subconsciously, a lot of the times, I feel like people can be jealous of people that they may, see in a better financial position than them or, a better career position than them, but you didn't even apply for the job. You said YOLO. You said I'm blowing money fast.
Right.
You
Same thing
you
with,
was
like,
like,
eating and, like, your diet or, like, being fit, like, yeah, but
yeah,
you chose to do this versus what they're doing, so why are you mad? Like
yeah. So subconsciously, like, what is the real issue? And I think when people, dig a little bit deeper, they can become a little less defensive
For
and a
sure.
little bit, more understanding. And, you know, yeah, ego to the side, the thing about it too is there is always going to be somebody better than you. There's
Always.
always going to be somebody doing something different, getting paid more, getting more praise for it. If you're moving with the intent that I'm doing this for me because I want to and it makes me happy, none of that should matter. But if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and
Right.
serial careering yourself, oh, let me do
Right.
this, oh, I can do that too. Anything you can do, I can do. Like, yeah, you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna be miserable.
You're
And
gonna
why do
be
you feel like you
lacking.
need to keep up with everybody?
Right, like, that's a choice, like, you don't have to. For who? Who are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove and to who, you know?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good.
Yeah. And that was one thing too, like when I started cooking professionally, my boyfriend at the time, I was just like, I don't know, like I'm nervous, like it's just so much better like out there. I don't have any professional training. And he's like,
Yeah.
just do it. Like just do it. Just do it. And I'm like, and when I finally did it, that imposter syndrome kind of left the building, and I can look back at my work and I can see my growth, and I'm looking at my stuff and I'm like, this is lit. I'm like, this is really good. Like, and I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, like little
But
pat on the back.
yeah, comparison is truly the thief of the thief of joy, because you will have, again, people that are doing better than you. You will have people that are doing worse than you. Um, but as long as you're doing something that makes you happy, you should be happy. You're not doing this to be better than them. You're doing this because this is something that makes you happy. And when you love what you're doing, you're gonna produce great work, great conversation, whatever it is.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Get you're going to make it so much further. It's going to be more enjoyable. You're not going to be drained. Like that's such a yucky place to be. And also people are going to want to buy from you. People are going to want to be around you. If you're, you know, just I
You
guess
have
I
that
don't
love and that passion behind
yeah.
what you're doing. It
Yeah.
shows. And it also shows when you don't. I had one friend, she literally opened up like a new business every 6 months, and I couldn't keep up with it. I'm like, girl, what are you doing now? And I'm
Right.
talking about the ranges were like so far apart from one another. They weren't even connected. And they were all really good business ideas, but I think, I don't know if she was looking for overnight success, or, started and was
Mm,
like, nah, never mind. But she would plant all of these seeds everywhere and not water them. And she's not running any of the businesses now. She went in a completely different direction, but I don't think that the heart and the passion was behind it, and it showed.
right. That is so true. And that's even like when we want to try so many different things versus like sticking with one thing. Now, sometimes it's like we want to be busy, we want to work, 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 work. So we don't have to like feel the discomfort of, all right, like I'm making this one change and we're gonna see what happens, and some people even with marketing, like trying their message. But if you don't stick with it, how can you see if it worked or not? Even
Yeah.
like dietary changes or even in the gym,
Oh
if
yeah.
you
Oh
don't stick
gosh.
with it, how do you even know it works? If you're trying a bunch of
Because
different
people
things.
have to stay off social media. It's the detox teas and the waist. Like, you really think the waistband is all you just gotta go to the gym with the waistband for 10 minutes a day and you don't gotta worry about nothing else? No, like it's a lifestyle change. You really have to want to do this because you want to be better, not because you want to look a certain way, or not just because someone else is doing it. Like, some of those celebrities like Tracy Ellis Ross, whew, goes, okay, baby. I pray when I get auntie status, I can be close to Tracy. Okay,
Right.
that lady puts in the work and she lives her life and she doesn't censor herself. I mean, I don't know what goes on behind the camera, but from what she does show, she's in the gym, she's working out. That's her body. I mean, I don't know, again, I don't know all the ins and outs, but I can tell from at least, she vacations, she eats right, she works out, she is herself. I don't
Right.
ever see her, how basketball wives and all these reality shows where these people just pinning each other against each other, being messy. She look like she come in, get her check, and leave. Uh,
Yeah,
that's
and like
that's it.
that's such an easier place to be too. We make it so much harder on ourselves. And
Yeah.
again, we're not guaranteeing the outcomes when we act like that. And
Hmm.
T-Shaw in the chat's right. It's a mindset before it
Yeah.
becomes a lifestyle. Because even with you, we can both agree on this. We did not have evidence of our businesses, but we had to have a belief first. We had to believe that we could do it to start creating, And
Hmm.
that was like a mind F because you're like, imposter syndrome, right? I don't have a
Hmm.
business. Who am I? Or
Hmm.
whatever. Or I'm not fit yet. But if you have to have the belief that you can do it first then you start creating the evidence and get that ball rolling.
But it has to be something that, you really stand behind, that you don't mind investing in and being patient with it. Planting the
Yeah.
seed, watering it, going back to watering it, later on when it starts to get dry. That's the thing. People plant seeds and they wake up the next morning, oh, there's no flower here. Well, what the F is this? Well, I'm not worrying about this anymore. Like, whoa, hold on. You didn't give it a chance.
Right. That's so important. Oh my gosh,
Gotta water
yeah.
those seeds. Gotta water
That's
those seeds.
yeah, seriously. And yeah, be patient and love that thing, give it your all.
Yeah.
Um,
Stop
yeah.
faking it for sure. Yes, Isaiah. That's a lot of people though, I feel like they don't even realize that they're being fraudulent, or they don't know themselves. They've always had people either telling them who they are or what to do. They don't think for themselves. They follow behind everybody else. They don't even realize that they're being fraudulent in some cases. Also, they have no clue what it is that they want in life or out of a career. But again, like we've been saying the whole show, that is a personal issue that starts with you. That's where you have to start working on. Well, why do I feel like this is something that I want to do? I have never had an interest in this. I just want to do this because she's doing it. Well, maybe I need to figure out what it is that I want to do. And then maybe you won't be so angry that she's so good at doing something that she loves while
Yeah.
you trying to do something
Yeah.
that she loves mediocrely and you're not getting it done right. Because that's
Right.
not for you. That's
That
not for you.
you just said it perfectly. That was so good. Man, there's a lot of good gems in here. So we only got a few minutes left. Um, should we end with, I don't know, anything else you want to
Oh, a
add? And then
refrigerator.
yeah, I
Somebody
was
said
thinking
something
that.
about sea moss.
Oh
Somebody
yeah,
said
yeah,
something
yeah.
about sea moss, right?
Yeah.
Um,
In protein shakes or something.
so when and if I do consume sea moss, I consume it by itself. At one point, I did used to mix it into my smoothies, but I did some research and I found that smoothies and sea moss don't really combine the fruit and all the sugars and stuff
It
in the
separates.
fruit. Yeah, it can break down the sea moss and kind of dilute some of its nutritional
What the
benefits.
heck is
So
sea moss, Big Al?
it's literally sea moss. It's Irish. It's usually Irish sea moss. It just comes from the ocean. It's kind of, it smells like the ocean. It smells like the ocean.
What does
If
it
you're
do for
getting,
you?
it's super healthy. I have to look it up and go over the list. But it's got like 92 out of the 102 essential vitamins and
Okay.
nutrients that our body needs.
Okay. I
It's
get down
good
with
for
that.
mental health, physical health, inflammatory, thyroid issues. Like it was
One and
something that
done.
Dr. Sebi stood really strong on CMOS. That's actually how I was first introduced to it. And a lot of people, they sell CMOS. Depending on where you're at, you can buy it, but it's really easy. The Jamaican store that I go to sometimes, they ship it. They have imported CMOS, and you can go in there and buy it. It's really cheap to buy it just raw in its
Interesting.
natural form. And a lot of people, they turn it into a gel by soaking it in spring water and blending it up, and it becomes into like a gel, and you can put it in teas and smoothies and food and
Ugh.
stuff. But it really doesn't have much of a flavor to it.
Just a
If anything,
texture.
it'll change the consistency. But if you can stand to take it on its own, just like a shot on its
Yeah.
own, that's the best way to do it.
It's something I'll look into, Big Al, and maybe let everyone know, because I still need to, push myself too. Isaiah says, "Bring Big Al back. She's good people." Me and Big Al are together every Thursday
Yeah,
night. This is our show,
we
so
here.
you'll be getting her
Gang
every Thursday
gang.
for sure. That's so good. Do you want to add one more like substitution thing for the fridge?
Um, let's see. We did the ice cream. We did
Oh yeah,
the
like
dairy.
yeah.
Oh, get the red meat. The
Oh
red meat.
yeah.
Let's take it out. Let's take it out
Mm.
and let's do some ground turkey, maybe chicken breast,
Yeah, chicken's
maybe
good.
some salmon, halibut, little cod. Um, it's okay every now and then, but red meat It's so hard for, I mean, meat in general is hard for our bodies to break down. We were not born to be carnivores.
Mhm.
We just scientifically, we don't even have the teeth, we don't have the digestive systems to break that
Right.
stuff down. But red meat is so much harder to break down. It sits in your stomach. A lot of times, especially, no shade to our people, but we kill it. We cook all the
Oh,
nutritional
yeah.
value
Who was
out
saying
of
that
it.
last week? Was it Dre?
Yeah, we cook all the nutritional value out of it. It's not even red by the, it's no red, no pink by the time we're done with it. And
I'm
it's
like
sitting
that
in
too,
your
though.
stomach forever. Yes, I had to get my parents off of that. Unless it's like a hamburger or spaghetti, like I mean medium well. But regardless, it's high in cholesterol. It's really difficult for your bodies to break down.
Yeah.
And it's just we gotta swap it out. You don't need it. You don't need it.
All
Save it for the
right.
4th of July. Save it for the 4th of July when you go on the
Mm,
barbecue.
fine.
But
All
in the
right.
meantime, in between time, and I've heard people real quick because I've heard people say they don't like ground turkey because they don't know how to season it and it doesn't taste the same. I
Beg to
beg to
differ.
wholeheartedly differ. You can see, I don't know why it
I like
scares
the
people to
smell of
season
it.
it. The smell of it. Where do you get your ground turkey from?
Kroger.
See, no, you gotta go to like the meat market where they
Okay.
actually
Like a
grind it
butcher shop.
in house. Yeah, and they grind it in house, and it looks like this used to be a turkey breast at one point in time. Like I can tell.
I will
I
try
that
it
the prepackaged stuff.
because it's
Mm-mm.
leaner and it's usually cheaper too, and it has so much protein.
Yeah.
But I just cannot. Okay, I'll try that because I cannot do the smell of it. Like even just,
No, yeah,
but
go Whole Foods, butcher counter, meat market, get it from the meat market at least one time, and then report back to me. It's
I
going,
know
it's
I'm looking at that for
gonna
the
be
sea
different.
moss too. Um, so it's time to end the
Oh yeah,
show.
sea moss is good for
Hang in
the
the
boom
back.
boom room too.
What'd you say?
Sea
Oh,
moss is good for the boom boom room too.
I can't. Boo, 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 I can't. So stay in the back after this, Big Al. But thank you everyone for being here. It was a wonderful show. I think there was so many good good gems in here. Definitely before you leave, like, subscribe to Black Man Unfiltered Network. Be sure to check out the show tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's barber shop talk with all the guys. And anything else you want to add, Big Al?
I think that is it for this show. Meet us here same time next week.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.